morning, students. Today we are going to start with another topic of the chapter Anatomy of Flowering Plant, that is plant tissue. Topic name is phloem, that is a part of complex tissue. The main objectives of this topic will be to state the features of complex permanent tissue, to describe the structural elements present in phloem tissue and their function. Here we are going to discuss what is phloem tissue, what are the elements of phloem tissue, what is their structure, and what are their function. Now take out your book and open page number 345. In previous videos, we people have discussed that permanent tissue is basically divided into two types, that is simple tissue and complex tissue. Simple tissue is the tissue which is made up of only single type of cells, and it is further divided into three types, that is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. And their basic function is synthesis, storage and strength. In complex permanent tissue, it is mainly made up of more than one type of cells that work together as a single unit to perform a specific function. It is present in vascular conducting tissue and it is consisting of xylem and phloem. Xylem mainly helps in conduction of water, whereas phloem helps in translocation of food. You can see here in this diagram, this part represents xylem, this part represents cambium, and this represents phloem. This is xylem, xylem vessels, this is cambium, and this is phloem. Xylem is always towards the center of the stem or root, and phloem is always towards the outer side. Now we will discuss phloem in detail, its various elements, structures and other functions. Now if we talk about phloem, the term phloem was coined by the scientist Nageli. The same scientist has coined the term xylem. It helps in transportation of food. Actually, phloem is the specialized complex tissue responsible for transport of food like sugars, amino acids, micronutrients, hormones, etc. from leaves to other parts of plant body. It is formed from procambium. It shows bidirectional movement. That means in phloem, movement of food can be upward as well as downward, as compared to xylem, which shows unidirectional movement only. It composed of mainly living cells, unlike xylem. In this, there are further four types of cells, that is sieve tube elements in case of angiosperms, sieve cells in case of gymnosperms, companion cells in angiosperms, albuminous cells in case of gymnosperms, phloem parenchyma, phloem fiber. Phloem fiber is the only dead element of this tissue. Rest all are living elements. Now we will discuss all these one by one. Now if we talk about sieve tubes, these are elongated tube-like structures arranged longitudinally and are associated with companion cells. Individual cells are called as sieve tube elements, which form a tubular channel known as sieve tubes. Actually, sieve tube elements are long tube-like structures which are formed by the rows of cells placed end to end and are arranged longitudinally. Now, a mature sieve tube cells possess a peripheral cytoplasm, a large central vacuole, but it lacks nucleus, and their transverse wall are oblique. You can see here in this diagram. Here, these cells are associated with companion cells. Their end walls are perforated. You can see here end walls are perforated. Perforated means it bears small pores. That is the reason they are called as, their end walls or transverse walls are called as sieve plates. Sieve tube cells are unique as they are living mature cells which are devoid of nucleus, like RBCs in case of mammals. Now the question is how they maintain themselves, how they're able to maintain their activities. So actually their function is regulated by the nucleus of companion cells. So, a mature sieve element possesses a peripheral cytoplasm, a large vacuole, but it lacks nucleus. Transverse walls are oblique and perforated, which are closely associated with sieve tube elements, and the sieve tube elements and companion cells are connected by the pits. These are called as pit fields, which are present between their common longitudinal wall. The pressure gradient of this sieve tubes is also maintained by companion cells. Now, what is this pressure gradient? Actually, the main function of sieve tube cells is to help in transportation of food. For transportation of food, it needs to maintain its osmotic pressure. That osmotic pressure is representing here pressure gradient, which is maintained by the companion cells, their neighboring cells. Now, sieve tubes are associated with companion cells through a common connection called plasmodesmata, and they are also called as pit fields. Its activity is controlled by the nucleus of companion cells, as we people have already discussed. In winters, these cells or these sieve plates are covered by a protein called as callose, which is an insoluble protein, and it gets dissolved during spring. That is the reason food translocation is more during spring as compared to that of winters. In gymnosperms, sieve cells are present which are narrow, elongated. They bear sieve pores but lack sieve plate. Like in case of sieve cells, sieve plates are present. In this in gymnosperms, sieve cells will be present and sieve cells will be having sieve pores. They are not arranged in linear fashion like that of sieve tubes. Now, we talk about companion cells. Companion cells, as we already know, they are always associated with sieve tubes. They are thin-walled living cells. They have large nucleus, and the nucleus of companion cell only is regulating the activity of sieve tubes. With dense cytoplasm, they are found on the sides of sieve tubes. Companion cells and sieve tube elements originate from same mother cells. That is the reason they are present in case of angiosperms. In case of gymnosperms, companion cells and sieve cells are not originating from the same cells. That is the reason in case of gymnosperms, these companion cells are called as albuminous cells. So here we discuss they are only present in case of angiosperms. In gymnosperms, instead of companion cells, a special parenchyma cells are present that are known as albuminous cells, which are having basically same function. Now the next element of phloem is phloem parenchyma. Now if we talk about phloem parenchyma cells, these are living cells like in case of xylem parenchyma. These are elongated with tapering cylindrical ends. They have dense cytoplasm and nucleus. Cell wall is thin. Actually cellulose is present but lignin deposition is not there. That is the reason here this cell wall is thin and it is present with pits. Pits means here plasmodesmata. They help in storage of food. The main function of phloem parenchyma cell is to store food. Along with this function, they also helps in radial conduction of food. They are formed mainly during secondary growth of plant. That is the reason they are mostly absent in case of monocots and herbaceous plants. Now the last component of phloem is phloem fiber. These phloem fibers are actually representing the dead elements of phloem. They are made up of thick sclerenchymus cells. As the cell walls are having lignin deposition, that is the reason these cells are dead. They are absent in primary phloem but present in case of secondary phloem. These cells are elongated and branched with pointed tapering ends. You can see here these cells are elongated one with the narrow diameter and pointed ends. They are also called as bast fibers. Why they are called as bast fibers? As some of the fibers of phloem like jute, hump are used for binding purpose. That is the reason they are called as bast fibers. Now we will see the actual structure of phloem collectively. This is the actual structure of phloem. You can see here all four types of cells: phloem parenchyma, companion cells, sieve tubes and phloem fibers. Now these large vessel-like structures, these are representing sieve tubes. You can see here transverse wall are perforated. Here small pores are present. They are giving it sieve like appearance. That is the reason it is called as sieve plate. Next to these, here a dense cytoplasm is present. In the center a large vacuole is present, but there is no nucleus. Next to this or adjacent to these cells, here these are companion cells which are having large prominent nucleus. Next to these are these small cells. These are representing phloem parenchyma, which helps in radial conduction of food, as well as they are also helping in storage of food. Now here these elongated narrow with the tapering ends, these cells are representing phloem fibers, which is actually the dead element of the phloem tissues. Now take out your book and open page number 343. See, phloem cells are basically for the transportation of food material from leaves to various parts of plant for storage and growth. Phloem is a complex tissue. We all know it is having four types of cells. As four different types of cells are present, that is the reason it is called as complex tissue. It composed of four types of cells: sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, phloem fiber. Unlike xylem, phloem is a living conducting tissue. We know these three are the living cells, and only one, this bast fiber or phloem fiber, is the dead component. Except phloem fiber, all three elements, sieve tubes, companion cells and phloem parenchyma, are living cells with cytoplasm. The main elements, sieve tubes and companion cells, unlike the xylem vessels and tracheids, are living cells with cytoplasm and are not meant for any mechanical support. Now sieve tubes, these are the long tube-like fibers or tube-like structures formed by end-to-end fusion of the cells. The transverse wall is perforated by pores and look like sieve plate, and it is also called as sieve plate. The sieve plate allows the flow of solution from one sieve element to the another. The sieve tubes do not have a nucleus but have a thin layer of cytoplasm around the periphery of the cell, along with a large central vacuole. Though they lack a nucleus, they are living and their function is controlled by basically companion cells. In lower vascular plants, sieve cells are the conducting cells. They have sieve areas throughout the end walls and lateral walls of the cells unlike the sieve tubes, where sieve areas occurs only at the end plates. Companion cells. Companion cells are the specialized living parenchyma cells associated with the sieve tube members. The main function of companion cell is to control the activity of sieve tubes. These are elongated narrow cells which help the tube members in the translocation of food material. They have dense cytoplasm with prominent nucleus. They are connected by sieve tubes by simple pits and are present in angiosperms only. Phloem parenchyma. Phloem parenchymas are the thin-walled living parenchyma cells. They are elongated, tapering, cylindrical cells that have a dense cytoplasm and a nucleus. The cell wall is composed of cellulose and has a pit through which the plasmodesmata connections exist between the cells, and this is helping in lateral conduction of or the sideway conduction or radial conduction of food. They mainly store food material and present in dicots only. If we talk about phloem fiber or phloem bast fibers, they are similar in structure to xylem fiber. They are made up of sclerenchyma cells. These are the dead cells and generally absent in case of primary phloem but are found in secondary phloem. Actually, these cells are formed only after the lignification of the cell wall of cells. They are much elongated, unbranched, and have pointed needle-like apices. The cell have very thick cell wall. At maturity, these cells lose their protoplasm and become dead. They provide mechanical support to the plant. This is the only element of the phloem which is providing mechanical support. Rest all are helping in conduction of or translocation of food. Now, next we will discuss the type of phloem on the basis of their origin. On the basis of origin, phloem can be divided into two types, primary phloem and secondary phloem. Primary phloem is representing the first formed phloem during primary growth. Secondary phloem is the phloem which is formed later in the plant during secondary growth. It is formed from procambium. Secondary phloem is formed from vascular cambium. If we talk about primary phloem is not crossed by lignified fibers or medullary rays, whereas if we talk about secondary phloems are crossed by bands of lignified fibers and medullary rays of parenchyma. It contains sieve tubes, companion cells. In dicot, it may have very few fibers, sclerates, and scattered parenchyma, whereas secondary phloem contains sieve tubes, companion cells, large number of fibers, sclerates, and parenchyma. Now, primary phloem is further divided into two types, protophlloem and metaphlloem. The protophlloem, it is the first phloem formed in the plant. Metaphlloem is representing the primary phloem which is formed much later in the plant. Protophlloem is present in the zone of elongation, whereas metaphlloem is present in those parts of plant where mature tissue is present. Protophlloem gets stretched as the surrounding tissues grows and it ultimately collapses and become non-functional, whereas metaphlloem remains functional for a long time, may occur throughout the life in case of monocots and herbaceous dicot plants, but become non-functional in case of dicots after the formation of wood, that is during secondary growth. Now take out your book and come to the page number 345. Page number 346. Now primary phloem and secondary phloem. Primary phloem is earlier formed phloem in growing plants and is responsible for primary growth. It is formed from procambium. Secondary phloem is formed later in the plant during secondary growth. It is formed from vascular cambium. Primary phloem is not crossed by lignified fibers or medullary rays, whereas secondary phloem is crossed by band of lignified and medullary rays. Primary phloem basically consisting of sieve tubes and companion cells, whereas Secondary phloem consists of sieve tubes, companion cells, large number of fibers, clarets and parenchyma. Now primary phloem is further divided into two types, protophlloem and metaphlloem. Protophlloem is the first formed primary phloem in plant. Metaphlloem is the phloem which is formed during later stage in plant. Protophlloem is present in the zone of elongation of the growing roots or stems, whereas metaphlloem is present in the area where surrounding tissues have stopped growing, means they have undergone the process of differentiation. Protophlloem, it gets stretched as the surrounding tissues grows and it ultimately collapse and become non-functional, whereas metaphlloem remains functional in case of monocots and herbaceous plants but become non-functional in case of dicots during their secondary growth. Now come to the page number 381. You have to plan question number 13, question number 16, 17 of short answer and question number 7 of long answer on your copies. For further reference, you can also see the following link. Thank you.